starting episode 2 of siding, and I'm going to bring that side up using scraps. This is 29 3/4, 17 3/4, or you can do doubles. So double of 12 is 24, double of 5 is 10.
Hey, this is Jeff with the Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
All right, everybody, we're doing a little bit more siding here, and I promised I'd show you this little tool. All right, so this is a tool that we make little, divots, and then that will pop up into this double undersill and snag it like a teeth. All right, just a little tidbit. When you're using a long piece, 12 feet, 14 feet, 16 feet, and you snap it in, for the most part, it's going to stay level. You can just double check measuring from the soffit down. Every now and then it's not a bad idea. They can see that thing's running pretty darn straight. Now, what I was saying is if you're using a longer piece of siding, 12 foot, 14, 16, it for the most part stays pretty well straight. You don't need to check it. It's not a bad idea to check from the soffit down, okay, 33.5, 33.5. Should be okay. Now, when we're coming to little pieces, so this is like 49.5, and you want to make sure that these match up at the top of that window, or else you're going to be in a pickle. As you can see, this goes up quite a bit. So you want to make sure that you're measuring down soffit in there, and then measuring both sides and comparing it to what's fixed. This, okay, so this is 23 1/4. We want this to be 23 1/4, which it actually is. So I'm just gonna nail that side, and I'm gonna bring that side up just a little bit. All right, everybody, we are starting episode 2 of siding. So, we got that versatile stone on a previous video, and then what we just did was we put J right along the bottom, because it's going to be hard to put a starter and then pull it up without having a gap. So we just put J, drilled a couple holes in it so that when the rain, because this is going to kind of act like a gutter, we want that water to be able to get out of this J instead of getting way back inside. And that's just going to trickle on top of that Versetta. We then just did J around the garage doors, just like we would do a walk-in door. And I then used my laser, which I have right there, found our common spot. So it's kind of light out, so I couldn't see it very well, but I found my laser line on all 3 of these columns. It was 2 3/4 high, so these are all perfectly level. Okay, now I start just using scraps. This is 29 3/4. I just gave it a little bit of a buffer of 1/4 inch. That died on me. Okay, 29 3/4. I just gave it a 1/4 inch gap. I just slid them in from the top, and we're just going to make sure these are all level. It's very important to keep all of these level, because when we get right to the top of the garage, you better make sure they all snap together. So I'm going to take my time and continually measure. I'm going to measure down to here after this first piece is on, so that I know that when I get to that top piece, I can connect this all. All right, so we're making progress here. So I just really want to discuss the importance of measuring all these, taking your sweet time. So what I'm just doing is going from the top of that J and measuring down, okay? So we're at, 17 3/4. And just make sure you're at the same all across. I just cannot stress enough about how these have to be straight, because when we get 2 pieces up higher and these all have to connect over this garage, your life is going to be so much easier if you just took another 15-20 minutes to measure these constantly. Okay, so we're going to take our square. We're going to use the outside numbers, okay? So 5 12. I put the 12 down on the bottom of the siding, and then again the 5 down on the bottom of the siding. Now you could draw a line right there, but that'll only get you halfway. Or you can do doubles. So double of 12 is 24, double of 5 is 10, go to 24, down to 10, and draw that line. So the outside numbers, you draw the line on the outside. So 24, 10, draw that. There is your 512. I made that right there. So then I can actually use a pattern to cut when I need it. Cool. Okay, guys, so I got this first piece on where it's just kind of a hard piece because you have the little cutout here and then angle. I would not use a full piece just to make sure if you mess it up. So as you can see, I just did a small piece and I didn't want to have that cut, that cut, that cut, and also the other side of the garage. I just felt like it was likelihood of it not working out were pretty high, and I did not want to have a seam in the middle. So I got this piece up. Now I'm going to use a full 16. So I cut out where the garage doors are, and I'm going to put a piece of undersill right here, just so this doesn't ever get flappy. It just gives it a little bit of stiffness. Okay, so we started to do the shakes. A little bit of a learning curve for me. I've never done shakes where it butted directly into the siding. I've always done shakes where they started on like a roof, so you just used a piece of J trim. I don't know if this is right. Seems to be working for me. But I just took the shaker. This is a special starter for the shake siding, and I just shoved it up as high as I could up into here, and then I just nailed it with the same nails for the siding. I wasn't too crazy. I'm not too concerned if they're tight or not. I kind of like them loose because you need to be able to pop this lip out a little bit so you can actually get that to snap in. If you do the starter higher, that's what I was hoping to do at first, it may tip out too much because you're dealing with this lip. So I had to drop it down, and I think it looks fine. You know, just coming, I was wanting it to start up here, but it just wasn't going to happen with the way this starter was set up. So shove it right up into this right here. That gives you a nice straight line. Tack it in. Then you're able to just kind of bend it out so that that shake will grab it on the backside. Okay, guys, I'm using my iPhone because I forgot my GoPro. But when it comes to measuring shake, it's a little trickier. You want to drop about an inch, if not around an inch, as far as where you're measuring. You do not want to run your tape measure here because your shakes drop down. Your longest one, like this guy, will drop down an inch. Okay, so you want your tape measure across here all the way to your J. It'll make a massive difference. It'll add another like 2 inches rather than tape, or else you're always going to be off. Cut it longer if you need to, or else you're going to ruin a piece. So look at that. This is my last piece. All right, keep watching. All right, so this is my final piece. So obviously there's no nail fin to nail to. So what I did was I just drilled a little hole, and I was going to use a white finish nail and just tap that in. I'm also just going to throw a bunch of silicone right in this clip, so that should hold that top piece nice and sturdy. All right, you guys, there you have it. We are 100% done. We have shakes on the peaks. All the vinyl is done. Interior is done. It's been a blast. It's taken me 11 months from the beginning. Now on the back one, we actually did put siding all the way up because the back, nobody cares, and it's cheaper and faster. All right, you guys. So that's it. That was the whole duplex journey. Once again, if you want to replicate this exact same thing, just go to thebuildingboys.com and you can get all the blueprints and everything, and comment on this if you have any questions, and take care, you guys. Bye.